Hey guys, I thought I'd do something a bit different with this YouTube video. So today I'm going to review the first 10 minutes of my laning phase as Rumble vs Graves. So firstly, I went the wrong runes. I went MR runes thinking I was versing Silas. But secondly, I actually have a really bad laning phase. And although we actually win this game overall, and I do end up carrying, I think this game could have been probably 10-15 minutes less if I played my laning phase better. So this video is all about working out what I did wrong, and hopefully I can make this into a series. So obviously we see Samira here. I'm pretty sure she gets first blooded, I believe. Yeah, so I mean, you don't really need to step up as Samira. There's no reason there. So, I believe she gets killed by MF, that's fine. While she's dying, I use this time to get a ward up here, just so we can confirm where Amumu's starting. You know, it's not the best ward, but it's at least better than doing nothing, and obviously, you know, not getting tilted, it's always a good sign. So, we'll speed this up a bit to laning phase. I go for a little walk up. I actually realized that it's Graves mid, so I actually walk up. I've got chat muted, but I walk up asking Garen if he wants to lane swap, basically pinging him, but it doesn't work. So obviously Graves is late to lane. I don't really know that. And to be honest, I don't really have a plan with this wave, which I think is something that I always tell players to have, and I didn't really have one. In hindsight, I should have gone Q first instead of E, and probably just pushed this wave out, because as you're going to see, Graves just pushes me in the whole time. And ideally, if you're getting pushed in, although it's a melee versus range matchup, you want to be at least trying to match as much of their wave clear as possible. Because as you'll see in a second, what happens is I start losing big time in CS to my turret. Because Rumble's actually a pretty good CSR, but I just don't do it very well. So already you can see Graves is really oppressive, and he's got the upper hand of this match. I'm missing my skill shots. He's got a nice CS lead on me. Well, not really, not just yet, but I'm probably going to miss a lot of these. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I actually got all three of those, so we're even. We're back to even. And so really, yeah, what I should be doing is I should be trying to push this as much as possible. But what I should also be doing is staying away from these edges so that Graves can't get a Q on me. And it's kind of difficult, right? Because Graves wants to Q, so his Q bounces back quicker. But also, if he Qs me while I'm in minions, he gets double the value. Because he gets to damage the minions and damage me. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm basically always trying to work that angle. But as you can see, it doesn't work out. I probably would have gone Doran's shield as well if I wasn't autopiloting. I literally did think it was Silas. Then once I got to lane, I realized it's probably going to be a Graves mid. So in hindsight, I probably should have gone a Doran's shield as well. But CS is actually still even at 3 minutes, which is, I'm actually really happy with that. That's actually a really good accomplishment. I think I might die or something else might happen where I start getting behind. Or it could even be this wave. I think I fuck up this wave. I mean, that's not too bad. He takes damage. I guess I can't contest that. I can contest this one, though. He zones me very well. Okay, so we're still even at 3 minutes 30, which is really good. Although, I don't have any TP, health pots left, but I do have TP left. So right now, what I should be trying to do is push this in. But, you know, it's pretty hard, because Graves obviously isn't going to let me. So really, all I have to do is just do my best here. Try and push as much as I can without obviously dying, because he has Ignite up. Something I don't realize either is that he burnt Flash here, so if I was actually paying attention, although I knew he was in the first blood, if I was paying attention I would have realized that he used his Flash. So I ping on my way here, and to be honest, Jarvan takes... You know, I think Jarvan's gank was actually okay, but what I did was bad, and then you're going to see what's about to unfold here. I'm pretty sure Silas TPs, yep. And I get out because I know it's dangerous. And I flash. Really bad flash. But we do end up getting the kill on Graves, which is good. And obviously I can't kill a Mumu because Silas is here. If Silas wasn't here, maybe I could have gone for the 1v1 there. But overall, you know, I'm down 4 CS and 1 kill. What I should have done, I think, is backed here. But I got greedy. So I started my recall. And I didn't back because I saw Silas pushing in. When in reality, I probably should have backed here. But I do get to use my TP after this, so it's not the end of the world. I do miss this Kata though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, really bad. Let's see how much of this CS I miss. That. Okay, I missed 2 out of 2. Okay, 2 out of 4. 2 out of 5, 2 out of 6. Okay, so I missed maybe 3 out of 7 there, which isn't very good. But I guess I'm even with Graves in CS, and I've got a kill. He's got 2 assists, so obviously the gold's actually incredibly even, which is pretty amazing when you think about it, that 2 more assists, 2 assists versus 1 kill and pretty even CS. He's actually almost ahead in gold against me. So I go Sork Boots Rush because I like Sork Boots. I think I rate them. They're really good flat pen. Early game, I think, is quite strong. Particularly against Graves, who has 44 magic resist. It starts really helping my damage output. Although, as you'll probably notice in this game, the lane doesn't really go better from here. So I noticed that Jarvan's doing Dragon. And to be fair, I think he should have just got out here, but I guess he couldn't. I don't know why he went for the Q there. Graves got the shutdown as well, which was sad. And then Graves goes to push bot lane for some reason, which I'm not too sure why. Graves should have actually come back here and punished me because he's pretty much dominating me in lane. If I was that Graves, and I think this was a bit of a breath of fresh air for me, if I was that Graves, I would have just dominated me here. But to be honest, at this point in the game, I was just playing without a plan. I think in hindsight, although I'm only 4 CS behind, it felt so bad. Like this current position, I felt much worse than what I'm currently in. Obviously, I'm behind 400 gold. And I call for this gank, and to be honest, I think this roam is completely valid. Roaming at 6 minutes 30 when your lane isn't going that well and you've got the opportunity, I think it's actually a smart play. Unfortunately, Silas, I thought, warded here, so I do waste a bit of time. And I keep pinging for Garen to go in, and he just never really does, which is annoying. And I guess as soon as I didn't see him go in here, I should have just backed off here. But because I spent, 10, 15 seconds coming up, I do end up trying to make this gank work, even though there's really no chance. And what happens is Graves gets a much bigger CS lead over me. So I think here I learned the lesson that if you're not winning lane, you can go for a roam, but if the roam's not on, it's not on. You're just going to lose so much more in a lane where you're slightly behind or even losing. If you go for a roam that's not on, like your top laner doesn't want the roam or you have no hard CC, what you should do is just not go for the roam. While going and looking for a roam at 6 minutes 30 as a mid laner is a good idea, executing or forcing a gank that's never going to work is never a good idea. And I think I die here. No, I don't die here. Maybe I do die here. No, I don't. I get greedy. I think I get greedy again here. I haven't used my ulti yet, which is interesting. I remember I used it in a dumb situation. Yeah, really bad use of ult. And I think I do end up... I think I end up getting out of this because I dodge. So notice what I do with my movements here. I'm being really unpredictable because I know he's level 5. So then I'd be really unpredictable at the start. Then I'd be super predictable because he hasn't shown his Q yet. So I need to get to this turret as quickly as possible. So I'm going to be super predictable and then dodge as soon as I see the animation or even a little bit before. See? Notice that? I dodge before or just as his animation hits because I'm anticipating it. And I'm not too sure what happens here. Okay. I should back here. This is just greedy. If I believe I might die here, which I fully deserve to. Or maybe I don't. I use my TP to get back in the lane. Yeah. Okay, so I go for the health here. Meanwhile, Graves, I guess, doesn't really heal up. I mean, to be honest, up until 8 minutes, Ignite would have been the better rune. So I ping on my way. This is one of my first mistakes. I ping on my way. Jarvan and I don't really sync up. I get too eager and I gank before he's really ready. And you'll see what ends up happening. I mean, that damage is insane. But what is that damage? Let's look at this. This auto attack, or is it the combination of his auto attack and his Q? Okay, it's the combination of his auto attack and his Q. So I guess if I had Ignite there, it would have been on. But that fight, my 1v1 there ultimately wasn't on because Jarvan wasn't ready. If I had just waited 3 more seconds, Jarvan would have been able to help me with that gank. And to be honest, I got impatient because I knew I was losing lane. I was trying to force. I'm down, 15, 16 CS now. I'm down over a K gold. And so I start forcing stuff when in reality, it was actually going to work out. And to be honest, we're 2-11 at 9 minutes, but we end up actually winning this game. I think I end up going like 18-4 or 18-6 or something like that. So we do end up winning this game, but my laning phase, when I was really the only hope for our team, I was the only one with kills in this game. I really should have took initiative. I mean, Samira does start popping off here, which is good. Oh, wait, whoa. I do a roam here, I think. Let's see what I do. Okay, so I'm immediately looking here. I know Samira's about to get ganked. I see all the pings. As soon as I see the dive, I go, fuck it. I'm going to sacrifice this. This is okay. Graves is there. Obviously, I can't see he's there. I TP straight away. And this is ultimately one of the tipping points. A simple TP when we're 2 kills versus 11. And watch what happens. I leave Pantheon because I know he's going to die. And then we kill MF. Perfect. I help her push out this wave, as you'll see, and then I go back to my lane. So, actually a really good way, and I do, scramble back about 500 gold out of that 1k deficit, but obviously now this lane's in a bit of a shitty position, and I'm not too sure what happens next here. Yeah, so Graves uses his smoke screen really well and gets a really good trade on me. I get over cocky here. So I see Amumu go in, right? And I know that he's coming. And what I'm thinking is I can 2v1 them. I've got my ulti. All I need to do is fight them properly. But again, I get impatient. So every single aggressive interaction, except for this TP here, I get impatient. And maybe it's because I'm tilted. Maybe it was my first game of the day. I think, honestly, because I think I was trying to force, which is something that's super important to note. Obviously, we've only got 4 kills to 11 kills, but I'm trying to force because I'm trying to get us back in the game, and it ends up actually hindering my performance rather than benefiting. So as you'll notice here, I go back in. I'm out. Like, they have no kill potential on me. I had flashed out. Let's go back a bit. So I'd flashed out, but I hit a really dumb ult. Why am I using my ult this way when in reality I should have used this way? 1, I'm panicking. 2, I'm impatient. And 3, I'm just not playing well because I'm getting affected by the current game state too much. And I don't know why I go for that. And obviously he gets the kill on me there. And then Jarvan doesn't... I think Jarvan dies as well eventually. Oh no, we actually come back here. I believe, yeah. And this is the next tipping point. So again, they kind of make a mistake, which is really good. And we ultimately get the kill. And we'll obviously skip towards the end of the game. And as you can see, we end the game. I end up 19-6-14. Graves ends up 13-11-7. So I had much more impact. But I think the main things from this laning phase were... Let's go back a bit. Were... 1... If you're behind, don't panic. Just keep playing the way you should normally play. 2... Still go for roams. Even if you're behind, even if your team's losing, if you have the opportunity to roam, go for it. But if the roam isn't on, if you get up there and the gank's just not on, like in the example of Garen, if the gank's not on, just don't overcommit for it. Don't force it, because what it's going to do is end up not giving Garen any help and putting you further behind in a lane you're already kind of losing. Those are the 2 big ones. And 3, never give up in a game. We were 2-11 in this game, 5k behind at 10 minutes. We end up winning this game. Obviously, they do a bit of throwing, but we end up actually playing really well as a team. I think there's FF calls. I think we get about 5 or 6 FF calls by our team. but I end up getting a double kill, which puts me back in the game, and we really rally, obviously around me mostly, because I'm 4-2, and I'm really the only hope, but ultimately a really good game, and I actually learned a lot from this analysis. So I hope you guys enjoyed something and learned something from this, and I'm actually wanting to do this a little bit more often. My idea is doing it daily, but I think it more might be, you know, every second, third day, or maybe every week. So as always, guys, cheers. Good luck on the Rift, and let me know what you thought of this video and if you think it's kind of a cool series.